All right, let's just jump right in. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. That moment you just know something is off. It kind of starts as a whisper, this subtle shift in your body, and then, boom, it just takes over.
And it feels awful. I mean, just completely miserable. Your muscles are aching, you've got this weird chill running through you, even when you're buried under a pile of blankets, and this wave of exhaustion just washes over you. It's hard to even string a thought together. That right there, that's the universal signal. And then you reach for the thermometer, and you see it, a number. And that number, well, it's the proof. For most doctors, that magic number is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 38 Celsius. The second you see that, everything changes.
It really feels like your body has just hit the panic button, right? Like it's an emergency and all your systems are failing. But here's the big question. What if it's not an emergency at all? What if that awful feeling, that number on the screen, what if it isn't a sign of failure, but a sign of a very deliberate, very ancient, and incredibly powerful strategy?
Okay, so to really get our heads around this strategy, we have to get a little bit nerdy for a second and figure out what being sick actually means. Because it turns out it's not just one thing. There are actually 3 different ways to think about it. So check this out. First, you have the disease. That's the actual invader, right? The virus, the bacteria, the cold, hard biological problem. Then you've got illness. Now that's your personal experience of it. It's the aches, the chills, that feeling of just pure misery. But then there's sickness. And that, my friends, is something else entirely. See, sickness is really a social role. A sociologist named Talcott Parsons actually came up with this term, the sick role. Think about it. It's this temporary, socially accepted status. It's what lets you call out from work or skip class, no questions asked. But it's a deal. It comes with a couple of rules. Your job is to try to get better, and you're supposed to get help if you need it.
And this is the key takeaway. That number on the thermometer, that's the bridge. It's the piece of objective, undeniable proof that takes your private, miserable feeling of illness and turns it into a publicly recognized sickness. It's your ticket, basically. It's what gives you permission to officially step into that sick role.
Okay, so if fever is this powerful signal, how does the body even do it? How does it generate all that heat? Well, the answer is, honestly, it's fascinating. Your body isn't just overheating by accident. No way. It's intentionally cranking up its own internal thermostat.
Let's follow the chain of command, this internal security alert. So step 1, invasion. Bad guys, like bacteria, show up and release these molecules that are basically alarm bells. Your immune cells, the good guys, they hear it, and they respond by releasing their own chemical messengers into your bloodstream. Now, these messengers, they travel all the way up to the command center in your brain, the hypothalamus. That's your body's thermostat. Once they get there, they trigger the production of this one super important molecule, PGE2. And PGE2 gives the final order, turn up the heat. It literally tells the thermostat to raise the body's set point. And those chills you feel, that's not you being cold. That's your body making you shiver to generate heat and hit that new, higher target.
And I gotta stress, this is a really critical distinction to make. A fever, the technical term is pyrexia, is a regulated, controlled process. The thermostat set point is intentionally raised. That is completely different from something like hyperthermia, heat stroke. In that case, the thermostat setting is normal, but your body's cooling systems are just totally overwhelmed. It's like the difference between turning up the heat in your house on purpose versus the furnace breaking and catching on fire. One is a strategy, the other is a catastrophic system failure.
But, and this is a big but, this incredible ancient strategy, it comes at a really steep price. It's a high-stakes gamble that your body is making.
So on one hand, the upsides, the benefits, are huge. A higher body temp can literally stop some pathogens in their tracks. It makes it a terrible environment for the parasite that causes malaria, for instance. It can mess with the structure of some viruses, and it even helps hide the iron that bacteria desperately need to multiply. And maybe most importantly, it turbocharges your own immune cells, helping them get to the battlefield faster and fight harder once they're there.
But then there's the cost. And this defense is incredibly expensive to run. Maintaining a fever puts a massive energy drain on your body. You're burning through oxygen faster, and it forces your heart and lungs to work way harder. Now, if you're a generally healthy person, you can handle it. But for the elderly, for someone who's already critically ill, or for anyone with a pre-existing heart or lung condition, that metabolic stress can be downright dangerous.
So, how costly are we talking? Get this, for every single degree Celsius your temperature goes up, your body's metabolic rate, the speed at which it burns energy, shoots up by a staggering 10 to 12.5%. Think about that. It's like flooring the gas pedal in your car just to sit in the driveway. You're just burning through fuel at an insane rate.
And this high cost brings us right to a very modern medical dilemma. It's a dilemma that probably lives inside your medicine cabinet right now. If a fever is such a powerful defense, why are we always so quick to shut it down?
That's the big question, isn't it? We have the drugs, the tools to bring a temperature down, no problem. But when we do that, what are we really doing? What powerful natural process might we be interfering with? So those common fever reducers, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, you can think of them as chemical saboteurs. They sneak into the command center, the hypothalamus, and they block a specific enzyme. This action completely stops the production of that key molecule we talked about, PGE2. Without PGE2 telling the thermostat to stay high, it just resets, and your body's temperature is forced back down to normal.
And here we are, right at the heart of the modern debate. On the pro-treatment side, there's no question that it relieves the misery of the illness, and more importantly, it reduces that dangerous metabolic stress, especially in really vulnerable patients. But on the anti-treatment side, there's some pretty compelling research. Studies have shown that these drugs can sometimes weaken the protective antibody response you get from a vaccine, and in some situations, they've even been linked to the body taking longer to clear infections like malaria.
So when you boil it all down, a fever isn't just one thing. It's three things at once. It's a signal, it's a defense, and it's a very costly burden.
So the next time you feel that heat starting to rise, maybe the first question to ask isn't just, how do I get rid of this? Maybe the question is this fever a problem that needs to be solved? Or is it a solution that's already in progress? A solution that maybe, just maybe, deserves a little bit of our respect.